Some hats bring out the best in us. They are fun, exciting, jaunty even. One may set these hats at an angle and prance beneath them. A feeling of absolute joy cannot be denied to the wearer of such special items of accessory. This is the origin story of one such hat. Hello friends, I'm Daisy, creator of costumes and sometimes fun hats, which tend to go well with costumes. The German Renaissance period was a time of fabulous hats, such as these hats captured by the famed Lucas Cranach and Albrecht Dürer. The pattern and instructions for this hat were created by my friends over at Thimble and Plume. The hat pattern is quite straightforward to follow, with just a few pattern pieces. It involves an outer wool fabric and a lining of linen. This is the red felted wool included in one of their kit options. You can find a link to their digital pattern in the description below, and I'd love to see yours if you make a hat using their pattern too, because then we can all be twinsies. I love German Renaissance clothing for many reasons, and fabulous hats are definitely one of them. This hat itself is called a Docken beret, or sometimes people call it a starfish hat, on the basis that it looks somewhat like a starfish with the final slashing. In a time when we all need to connect with friends, I decided to join a sew-along hosted by Thimble and Plume. This hat is actually the first part of the project, which encourages us to create a 16th century German Renaissance period outfit. I was so excited because I've been wanting to make such a new outfit. In fact, I bought fabric for a new German Renaissance dress a while back, though I bought it in Sweden and left it there. I'd planned to return this summer, but given the current travel restrictions and the state of the world in general, who knows when I shall yet again be reunited with my glorious wool stash. In the meantime, I will add this very fashionable hat to an existing German outfit. The crown of the hat is quite large on my head alone. You see, those cool Germans wore more layers under this hat, so one must leave room for such delightful pieces. After some initial machine sewing, most of this hat was sewn by hand. With felted wool like this, it's kind of cool how you can hem the edges without the stitches being very visible from the outside. The brim is also attached by hand. It's done in 2 halves and then slashed later. Half the brim is attached here. It looks a little silly, but it is very fun. The slashes in the brims of these hats vary in both number and size. I did just a couple of slashes in the hopes that I can use this hat to get a look similar to the Cranach image you saw earlier. The lining goes into the crown of the hat. What's really nice about this lining is that you could actually remove it and wash it, or even replace it without sacrificing your entire wool hat. Feathers are an essential part of the most fashionable and large hats, especially if you want your hat to be large. Feathers add plenty of size to the overall silhouette. I tried using some feathers I already had, but ultimately decided I needed some shorter ones. So I ordered my feathers and waited patiently. The feathers finally arrived and I set to work. A lot of the hats in this period have cool curled feathers, and I hadn't done that before, so I thought I'd give it a go. I tried curling them using a butter knife as recommended online, then a sharper knife. After some failed attempts, ultimately I finally found success using good old scissors, just the way one would curl ribbons for wrapping presents. I guess these feathers are like a present for my head. Even with the scissors, it was quite difficult to get the hang of this. I've curled lots of gift wrap ribbons, but feathers turned out to be more finicky than I'd hoped. I actually pulled out some feather tendrils in the process at first. Thankfully, the feathers have plenty of volume, so I guess it's not really a problem in the end. Thanks, feathers. After a little bit of practice, I got much better at curling my feathers, and it started to go a little bit faster, though it still felt like forever. After curling 12 feathers for what felt like an eternity, but was actually done in a single day, all the while questioning my life choices with this project, I was ready to complete my hat. The feathers can be pinned onto the hat, but I know myself and my history with having that number of pins in one single hat, so I sewed mine down. That way they can't go anywhere, except wherever I go, because they're attached. These feathers are stuck, a gift for my hat and my head to keep wherever we go. I will leave links in the description to Thimble and Plume's pattern and sew along group, which you can join. Please join us if you'd like to create your own. And finally, what would a hat be without a costume to go along with it? A jaunty hat demands a properly jaunty display. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. You can also find me as Daisy Victoria on all the social medias. And if you'd like to support my efforts to keep creating content and fabulous costumes to share with all of you, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Farewell for now, friends.